Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Yes, I'm wearing an orange turtleneck and I look like a tangerine or Velma from Scooby-Doo, but you know what? I'm feeling myself. So for this week's video, I decided to do a story time video. And this is just a story time video because it's been requested a lot, and I just think that these types of videos are super fun to watch. So I really hope that you guys enjoy this video. And yes, this is true. This is basically a sort of compilation of the amounts of times that my school has almost burnt down. And it's just, when I tell stories, I will start to laugh, so just bear with me. And so basically I go to a school, you go there and there's different program areas for things that you maybe want to major in or just do on the side. So I'm in the culinary arts program and we were making macaroni and cheese. So I know, how do you mess up macaroni and cheese? So we're making the macaroni and me and my partner, we slayed that macaroni. Our chef said that was the best macaroni he's had all day because it was very mature. Guys, we slayed it. We put like all these different sorts of cheese. We put mushrooms and chives and onions and artichokes and all this really good stuff. If I could share that macaroni with you, I wouldn't because it was so good. But yeah, so everything's going really well. And so one of my fellow culinarians, he is about to cook his sauce, and he had his saucepan on the stove for a really long time. And you're not supposed to do that. If you have your saucepan on the stove, either turn it down or don't start until you're not ready. But he had it on there for a long time and there was nothing in the saucepan. So I'm like, okay, whatever, I'll just ignore it. Maybe he's just getting his stuff. But then again, you have to be cautious in the kitchen because it's a whole bunch of people, not really a whole bunch of people, but a classroom, and they're preparing food. And so when the boy goes to pour his liquid into the saucepan, the saucepan was so hot it couldn't take it. So the flame just this is what it did. It jumped over the saucepan, got into the food. This flame was this big. So me being the dramatic person I am, I'm screaming my head off, full on bloody murder scream, just being dramatic, because it was funny. I was laughing, but then again, I was like, oh my gosh, this fire is huge. I'm gonna have to dip and run, or else something bad's about to happen and I'm about to get burnt up. No, that cannot happen. So I'm screaming, and so my chef, one of the chefs bolts into the kitchen, and she's like, fire, fire, smother the fire, and she grabs this sheet pan and is yelling, smother the fire, smother it now. It was honestly we were in a blockbuster film. It was Hollywood on steroids. It was so dramatic, that it just felt very unreal. So we get the saucepan covered, or the chef's do, and I don't know why, it was just really funny to me because certain things like that just stress me out, and I was like, oh my gosh. So everything's okay. The next story, this also happened this week. My friend, we were learning how to use the torch in culinary, and if you get creme brulee, they torch the top or whatever. So our chef said, okay, if you were making these little cake things that you dip in chocolate, and we were gonna cover them with sprinkles and stuff. So our chef was like, if you guys get any fingerprints on them, just take the torch and lightly glaze it. So my friend was like, oh, I accidentally got my fingerprint on them, I'm gonna glaze the chocolate. So she did the first time. Everything went so perfectly, and I was like, oh my gosh, do this one. And so she did. But we weren't thinking, because the little cake was on top of parchment paper. Parchment paper burns. So we're she's glazing the she's glazing the little cake, and the fire like jumps out of the torch and gets onto the parchment paper. And so at first, like, I'm just sitting there chilling because sometimes my reflexes are very slow, and I'm just like, oh wow, like that fire's getting really big. And I was like, man, like I hope that someone blows like this fire out. It's getting really big. And like my friend's like trying to blow the fire out and stuff, and I'm just sitting there like chilling because my reflexes are slow. And then like when I finally realized, I'm like, oh my gosh, like we have to do something. So I'm like trying to help her blow it out and stuff, and we finally get the fire out. But it was just really funny. Like it was funny to experience. I don't know. And then the next story, I have so many little stories about how my school is almost caught on fire. The next story is about okay, so this is the same day. This was on Friday as well. And this is the funniest story. Okay, so my friend has her pot on top of the fire, and in order to put water into the pot, we have these little hose that are connected to the water source so that you don't have to go like fill the water up, fill the pot up in the sink and then try to carry this heavy pot over to the stove. So my friend has this hose and she's like, you know, pressing it so that the water goes in. And the stove top is on and she's filling it up and the thing locks. The hose locks and she can't get it off. So the thing's locked and there's just water streaming out of this hose, and my friend's like, help, someone help, like screaming for help, not screaming but like panicking a little bit. And the water's just flowing, and like when the water mixes with the fire, of course like the fire is just like sparking, and my friend's panicking and no one's helping her. And no one's helping her, and finally, I don't know what she did, I don't know how they got it unlocked, but they got it unlocked and everything is good, everything is safe. But it was honestly like the funniest thing ever because she was struggling and like I'm making my bechamel sauce, but because my partner was laughing, I kept laughing. And it was honestly just the funniest week ever because there were so many problems that happened in that culinary class, but honestly it's so great and it was just an amazing time. So I really hope that y'all enjoyed this story time, and if you did, make sure you guys give it a big thumbs up, comment down below, and subscribe as well. And if you guys would like to see more story times, definitely tell me because I would love to do more. And I will see you all on Wednesday with a new video. Bye! Honestly, that was the funniest video I've ever filmed in my life. 1, 2, 3, 4, crazy ass bitch, I'm gonna knock up on your door.